How's it going, everybody? It's me, Shane, and I'm here to give you another Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Swordsmith Village Arc episode review. Today's episode is episode 8, The Mu in Muichiro. And before I go any further, please hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified of more videos such as this one. We're on the road to 1,000, and we're going to get there one way or another. So, as it was basically hinted in the title of this episode, all about our boy Muichiro Tokito. So much easier to just say Tokito, but Muichiro. Wow. I gotta hand it to, I really wish I remembered the mangaka's name for this series. I have to hand it to him. The backstories. The backstories are so touching that it just it pulls you in. It doesn't matter if it's a demon's backstory or a Hashira's backstory or some fish that's just trying to get upstream and then the demon drank all the water. That didn't happen, but still, I feel like they could do a backstory on anything and it will just make you go, wow, the feels, right? So Muichiro is remembering his entire past. And this we got triggered because obviously he got out of the water vase prison last episode thanks to Kotetsu. And we got more of those scissor hand fish thingamabobs. It's like 5 of them just come out of nowhere ready to gang stomp him. And he's like, I'm worn out. I don't have any more energy. And now he's remembering. He's remembering his family. His father, who Tanjiro shares eyes with because they're more than likely distant cousins. He was a woodcutter. He enjoyed doing wood cutting or helping his father with the work. One day, he has a mother. But what is also revealed to us is that he has a twin brother, Yurichiro. And I liked how they were able to tell them apart because Muichiro had, he's like, and Yurichiro's just, I'm angry all the time. I'm upset. And we'll get why he's upset all the time. We'll get to that in a second. Also, Yurichiro wore black with that teal color. Muichiro had the white with the teal color, right? So you can easily tell both of them apart. But they're twins, literally identical twins. And one day, mom was sick. And dad went out in the middle of a storm to get herbs, burbs to make her feel better. Her fever was crazy, but here's what's even crazier. When dad was reaching to pick for those herbs, fell to his death. So on that day, didn't just lose one parent, he lost both parents. And then that's when we revealed that it's Yurichiro. And this dude is toxic as hell. I mean, he said literally, it's crazy because even Muichiro makes the connection. He said, man, when I had amnesia, I pretty much was like my brother, because he says the same negative shit that Muichiro has said to Tanjiro, like, yeah, what's the point of wasting your time helping others? It doesn't get you anywhere. And Muichiro repeats the same thing Tanjiro said to his brother because his father said the exact same thing. Helping others helps you out in the end. And just the vile that gets spewed from this kid saying, also, we're going to take advice from a man who died helping someone else. And it's like, you're mad that he tried to save your mom? And when things get to a head with their relationship, where the lady, oh my goodness, I'm gonna be very upset if I don't remember her name. I want to say her name is Amana, the wife to the master, right? I want to say her name is Lady Amane. She comes to them, tells them, hey, you guys are descendants of someone who did the first breathing style. You're descendants of swordsmen. So, we'll train you, blah, 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 blah. That's all implied because the characters speak after they see her. And while Mauriccio's going on, Yurichiro just about had it. Amane, that's her name. He's telling him, wash the rice, and he's chopping up this giant radish, and he's going off. He's saying, you're just like our mother and father, you're too damn optimistic. He's wondering if his brain even works. Because Mauriccio's like, we should go save people from demons. And he's saying, our mom worked up until she got super sick and didn't tell us she got sick and then died. And our dad died in a storm trying to help. And I begged her to rest, but no. And he's making a point saying only the chosen ones can help people. He's saying, their ancestors may have been swordsmen, but what can kids like us do? He basically says they can only die in vain like dogs. And we're never going to talk about this again. And at that point, their relationship was super strained. We get an example of like Muichiro's moving a giant log, falls down, brother doesn't help him. They don't talk. They're trying to sleep in the hot summer nights where even the cicadas are out. And that's when it happens. A demon walks through their door because they keep the door open. They're out in the woods. That's where they live. Demon comes out. It's about to kill Muichiro. And his brother jumps out in front of it, loses an arm for it. And so this is where we get the third thing that was, who said it? Gyokko said this. So the same thing that this demon said, you're just woodcutters. Doesn't matter if you exist or not. Doesn't matter if you live. Like, everything in his memory has been said by someone else, and it's just kind of repeating itself. Which I guess this is the perfect moment to jumpstart his brain into breaking out of his amnesia. But after the demon said that, saying that their lives were worthless, Muichiro roared like a beast, went into a frenzy. But here's the funny part. He doesn't remember anything. His eyes went red. Everything went blank. And when last thing he remembers, we see said demon on the ground, giant wooden stake stabbed into it, its head smashed with a rock, writhing in pain. Several limbs are cut off. And he's like, hey, even his head smashed in, the thing was still alive. But the sun came up and obviously turned this thing to dust. And so he's making his way back and he's fallen down. He's just trying to drag himself into the house. And when he gets to the house, his brother is basically praying out loud, basically saying, God, Buddha, whoever, save my little brother. He's not like me. He actually cares about people. He wants to save people. His brother's kind-hearted. So if you punish anybody, punish me. And it goes back to a thing very early on when he was verbally abusing his brother, saying that the Mu in Muichiro stood for meaningless because of the argument they had, and it stood for incompetence. I actually wrote down the words in my notes, the exact words he used in Japanese. I think it's Munomoto, and I can't remember the other word, but actually, no, I'm about to come in. Mu ani no, which is for meaningless, and muno no mu, incompetent. But he was saying, I knew all along that the Mu in Muichiro stood for infinity, as in Mugen. And this is when, in the present day, he gets up, does the fourth form of the misbreathing, the shifting flow slash, saves Kotetsu, cuts through these things, and Kotetsu's telling him, hey, go save Hagenizuka, the blades. Remember, you got to get the blades. And he's going in, but meanwhile, actually, I did everything I want to talk about Mauricio's past. But meanwhile, Gyokko is still pissed because he has sliced up Hagenizuka, taking out one of his eyes, and he is still honing this blade. Well, Mauricio gets in there. It's time to cut them up. And he got there in a good time because Gyokko was going to threaten to kill, what's his name? Hanamori, which he probably would have done. When our boy gets in there, they would do one little slash. What's this demon do? He does a move called Taco Prison Hell, Octopus Prison, which just sends out this giant mass of tentacles, like huge, breaks the whole thing, breaks the whole hut they're in, the whole shack, sends everybody out. Hagenozuka goes right back to, he just grabs the weight stone, goes back to sharpening. Meanwhile, the other two are being squeezed. Our boy is able to slice out of this stuff with his brand new personal Demon Slayer sword, which he says, yeah, it fits like a glove. This is perfect. And Hanamori saying, hey, I just did the specifications of the, your last swordsmith, who his name was Mr. Tetsuito. Mr. Tetsuito died of heart disease. And what's crazy, we get a flashback of him talking to Muichiro. We get to see a little bit more of his face because his mask was askew. You died of heart disease. This dude was smoking a pipe, saying that he was worried about Muichiro. It's going to be hard for people to understand him because of the drama he's gone through. Saying that you push yourself to the point that you're throwing up blood because you can't remember everything and you're struggling to remember. And it makes him uneasy looking at every sword that Muichiro uses. And this goes back to what Tanjiro said during the Entertainment District arc when his blade was getting chipped. It's all about the user, whether they're in sync with their blade, whether they're in sync with their breathing. The swordsman, swordsman has to gel well with the blade. The blade has to gel well with the swordsman. Everything has to be in flow, or else you end up with damaged blades. But Tetsuito honestly says he's worried about him. He says, not that he wanted to be around any longer since he was old, which is whatever, he gave up, kind of. It's not like he was giving up or whatever. But he's saying that he couldn't stop worrying about him. And in Rishiro's mind, he's saying, I'm sorry that I worried you, but don't worry. I'm all right now. He's moving like lightning, dodging these tentacles. He does the fifth form, which was called Sea of Cloud and Haze. Just quick slices. And of course, the demon Gyokko, he's bragging like, hey, you're not faster than my vase speed. And dude's like, looks like your senses are dull from being so old. And he got a thin line of blood coming from his neck. Mauriceo's ready to end this right now. Which, again, this is funny. What was it? The demon doesn't want to be underestimated. Goes on the attack again. And then we get another voiceover from his brother, apologizing to him, saying he couldn't be more gentle with him, but he couldn't afford to because, being kind to others. He says it's more of a thing that the chosen can do, right? But no matter how virtuous you are in a life you lead, God nor the gods nor Buddha will protect you. That's why he's saying he had to protect his brother. And he says you are one of the chosen ones. So before I get into the Taisho secret, the chosen ones are the ones who protect people. I get what they're trying to do. I'm just going to call bullshit on that. I guess you can say it takes a special person to, protect others and try to do better by others and try to help others. It does take a special person, but anyone can do it. That's the beauty of it. You can go out and be a good person. It just takes a lot of strength to do the right thing, especially in the midst of doing the easy thing. The easy thing is not always the right thing. Sometimes the easy thing is the wrong thing, but doing the right thing can be very hard at times. So it takes a lot of work, especially trying to help others. Think of many professions like social workers and teachers and even firemen, things like that. It takes a lot of work to, put yourself out there to help others. But I don't think it's a chosen one thing. I do think those people are special, but I think anyone can rise up to the occasion, especially if you need to. Just my 2 cents on that. Now, today's Taisho secret, though, is that it's Kanroji Mitsuri's birthday. Her birthday's actually June 1st. So I'm guessing when this comes out, when the next episode comes, episode 9, I want to say that's going to be on the 4th. So yeah, they did the happy birthday now, which was a very funny one because of the village people, which had Kotetsu in it, made an all-you-can-eat buffet for her. She's like, oh, I can't wait to get seconds. And it's like, you're gonna get seconds of all this stuff? And they immediately regret saying all you can eat. But the actual Taisho secret was that her favorite food as of right now is omu rice, omelet rice, and pork cutlets, which are both a modern Western, and fashionable food, which Tanjiro and Nezuko made. I could tell Nezuko made the omelet rice because she wrote with the ketchup, congrats, Miss Conjuro. Had a little cute ketchup Nezuko in it. She ate that while he was telling us the title for next week's episode, which was Miss Hashira Muichiro Tokito. But she's like, I want seconds. And he's like, oh no, you're already done. So yeah, that's the running gag. That she's super strong and she eats a lot. Eats a ton. Which is actually quite funny when you think about it. Yeah, I'm giving this episode, I want to give it a 5 because it did such a good job of those callbacks. And you had to have been paying attention from the very beginning of this arc to be like, oh wow, 3 things that were said in here were said not only by him but to him by several other characters. And it makes sense that this is the moment where his memory is jogged. So I'm tempted to give it a 5. It's actually a good episode. Not better than episode 5. No, it ain't that much, but it ain't better than that one. But it's actually pretty good. I'm gonna give it a 4.5 because it's not. The action scenes were really good, but it wasn't. It's I don't know. It's hard to describe, right? I'm tempted to give it a 5, but the lowest I will go is a 4.5. This is a really good episode. It gets you into his backstory, making you realize, oh crap. Okay, he adopted the personality of the last person in his family to pass away. That's what's going on with this amnesia, probably from all the shock. I do think it's incredible that he, as a kid, did his best against a demon with just things that were around there. Also, him getting the burst of energy, his Demon Slayer Hashira mark, like the same mark that Tanjiro has on his forehead that grows, his grew on his face, which is funny because Gyokko was like, oh yeah, the master said watch out for the kid with the earrings because he has this mark on his head. But I'm not worried about that, which the stronger the demon is, the more overconfident they are, because these guys are going to take you down even if they have to risk their own lives. So yeah, good luck with that. Good luck with that. Yeah, 4.5 out of 5 from me. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Please hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified of more videos such as this one. Very enjoyable episode. Wasn't overly tear-jerking, but I'm appreciating that if these characters don't die right now, like him and Genya, we're getting more of a fleshed out backstory that's making me care about him. I was like, F you Tokito, but it's like, okay, Tanjiro said there's no malice. I can see where there's no malice. Just good job all around. 4.5 is more than deserved for this episode. But again, thank you for taking some time out to spend some time with us. Yeah, didn't forget about Nezuko here. Spend some time with us talking about Demon Slayer. Please be good, be blessed, wash those hands, be good to yourselves, be safe out there, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Either way it goes, please don't be a jerk. Realize that there are people out there who care about you and would rather talk to you today than more you tomorrow. So please reach out to someone. If you're feeling down and you're feeling low, make sure you talk to somebody. All right. My social medias are down there in the description. Do not hesitate to follow me. Do not hesitate to send me a message. I will answer you as long as you're not a jerk. Well, guys, like I said before, it's me, Shane, and the Taisho secret is I will be back next time.